All right, so moving on to project 5, that's the distance sensor. Again, control and click on the link, and that should um, open this. So for this one, the distance sensor, let's first figure out what the distance sensor is, or another name, it's called the ultrasonic distance sensor, and it looks like this right over here, as you can see, or properly over here. All right, and the one that you guys are going to be using is the 4-pin one. 1, 2, 3, 4. As you can see over here. So we're going to need the RGB LED, three 330 ohm resistors, the distance sensor, and 10 jumper wires. And again, the distance sensors work by sending pulses of light or sound out from a transmitter, then timing how long it takes for the signals to bounce off an object and return to a receiver. So basically, it's just like a sonar, and it helps to be able to detect, or it can be used to detect if something is in front of it or immediately in front of it. Now it says some sensors use infrared light, some use lasers, and some like the HCSR04 included in your kit. Of course, this is referring to another kit. All right. So now let's scroll down and let's see. So we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Basically 5, but one of them is just resistors. All right. So now let's go over here, create circuit. Um, so we're going to need our Arduino board, and we're going to need our breadboard. Um, we're also going to need the 3 resistors. All right, so let's change that. 330, 330, and we have another 330 over here. All right, so 3 of them. And let's look for our distance sensor. Just type it in. And you might get this very first one which pops up, but it's only 3 pins. You might not necessarily be able to see it, but you want to choose this other one, which is, as you can see, 4 pins. Now take note that each pin actually represents something. So this one is for the GND or ground, echo, trig, and VCC. All right, they're going to be important later on. All right, so now we need to find our LED, which no LED, and we need the 4-pin LED. All right, now let's go back and try to complete our circuits. Um, so we have 3 resistors connected to this, the LED, and one of them is connected to the GND. So let's look at this. Okay, so now let's see. I'm gonna rotate this. Now, if I hover over them, so green, blue, cathode. If you guys remember, cathode, negative, and then we have red. All right, so I'm going to put this here, and then, oh yeah, one of my resistors. So which would mean that resistor goes over here, resistor over here, and then another resistor right here. The cathode one, if you look at it carefully, the cathode one is the one that goes to the GND. That does not have a resistor because I've turned my board a little bit different. So this would go, well, again, I could do it this way and then connect another wire from here to that. All right, so I'm going to change that to black, and then this one to also black. All right, now let me move this up a little bit. Now we're going to have our GND, and then I'm going to have this over here. Let me just connect this whilst I'm still here. I believe I'm supposed to connect that one. I will check in a few. Let's see. All right. So yes, we do have a 5-volt, and that goes to that lane. Okay. So that's good. Now, let's see. Now let's connect All right, so next, as we can see, the VCC over here connects to the 5-volt section right here, as you can see. And then the GND connects to the GND. So now let's go in and do that. So let me connect that here like this. We can connect it this way. And then the VCC, as I said, that will go over here. And then the GND goes over here, and that's black. All right, as you can see, that follows this. All right, now let's look at the rest. Now, trig, take note, trig, the yellow line goes to 11, and then echo goes to what? 12. So let's do 11, trig. Trig goes to 11. So here is trig right here, trig, and I'm just going to go straight to it. Trig goes to 11, and I believe this was yellow. You could change it to whatever color you want. And then echo goes to 12. Let's make that green. All right, so that's connected. Or actually, let me change this color. Make it purple. All right, because I want to use those colors over here. All right, so the next is, so the one resistor on the other side of the GND is the red. Remember, this is RGB. So red goes to 3. So that'll be this. Red goes to 3. Alright, so we'd still just make this red. And the next one right next to the GND cable, green goes to 5. Green right here goes to 5. And then I think the other one is actually 6. The next one is 6, blue. So this one right here, all right, so that's blue. All right, it's not connected perfect, but um, let me see. Let me just, it's going to, so again, it's what? It's this pin or this resistor to 5, but I just want to make it look a little better so it's not confusing. All right, and then let's go to 5. And again, it's green. All right, so it's not, you can't confuse it with this one. All right, so it looks like that's basically it. The whole connection is complete. We have our resistors connected to our 4-pin LED or our RGB LED, and then we have also our this ultrasonic distance sensor connected. I believe I connected these wires already. Let's see. Yep, these wires have been connected. All right, so the next thing we need to put is our code. Continue. Let's go back and Control Alt A to, and then delete everything. And then let's go back to see if this thing is, all right, copy code, and then Control V to paste. All right, start simulation, and as you can see, it's blue right now. All right, and you could just, sometimes this works properly and sometimes it doesn't, as you can see. So blue means that the object, this object right here, is not close, and then as you move closer it turns a different color, as you can see. And then red is like, okay, the object is very, very close. All right, so that's what it's supposed to mean. I think I've gone too far back, as you can see. It's because this measurement disappears when I get too close. All right, so it's about right here. So again, it tells you when something is too close or, far away. All right, so that's the end for this one right here. All right.